Welcome to 6 Minutes. Jason Fulmore. We're doing 7A with Lucas Da Silva. Is 7A your favorite because that's what you wrestle?
It is absolutely my kind of country. I mean, hold on. So this is just me being me a little bit. It's absolutely my kind of country because this is where I did get these two and one more that I need to get resized, but these are where I got these. Like 7A, I know very fluently because that is my environment. So this is where I get to really give you some fun.
All right, so let's jump right in.
By the way, since I saw Mr. Krug, by the way, shout out Clay High School in Florida. I went down there to do a practice with Mason yesterday. Since I saw Mr. Krug, I'm still picking against Camden to win the team title. I don't know who would even think that, but somebody will.
All right.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, let's jump right into 7A 106. You got a Colin Mullins there.
Fuck, you're on the level.
Yeah, they can't see you.
All right, but
so Colin Mullins took out Bradley Patterson, Camden County, in the finals of that section.
Yes, he did.
Kenneth Jett took care of that section. To me, this is the Wild Wild West. I think that Jett is probably the favorite, but because he beat Madrala in the Gwinnett County Championships. But otherwise, I really think that this could go lots of different ways. What do you think?
I think it could as well. And I want to ask a question to my 7A people. Why is there a Hannibal at Archer and not Mountain View? Like, can somebody explain that to me? Like, is that Hannibal related to the other ones, or?
Yeah. So I think that there are a bunch of brothers. And
so are they just split between Archer and Mountain View?
Yeah, Archer, Mountain View. Is there one other? No, it is Mountain View. Yeah. Yeah.
Was Lex a senior last year?
No, I don't believe so.
Then why isn't he? Okay, so I need to get to my sources because I'm now confused. But anyways, back to 106, where we are. Michael Madrala and Kenneth Jett, and Bradley Patterson can wrestle. Very obviously, he is a Woodward lad. But, you look at Landon Robinson, 46-1. At some point, he has to have wrestled someone legit to have that record. Everybody knows my disdain for Mountain View, but I'm going to go here. Dylan Martin, he's 31-7. Kid's a freshman. I've seen the kid. He can wrestle. Like, he can bang with the best of them. So this is a fun bracket.
Yeah.
I agree that KJ is my favorite to win. I think he has shown himself to be the best one on paper, but Michael Madrala is the best spazzy wrestler I've ever seen in my life.
Spazzy wrestler?
Yes. As in he is a spaz in the way he moves and darts around. His movement's super unorthodox, but not unorthodox like me where there's a method to it. He just moves and things happen. And I mean that in the best way. He is a very solid young man. I do like him. He's a good kid, obviously, a friend of mine. I'd like to see him win one, but if I was picking with my brain, KJ is for sure your favorite. And like I said, watch out for Dylan Martin.
All right.
I hate Mountain View. By the way, the reason I did this earlier, guys, console. Yeah, go ahead. Tattooed console on me. Deal with it. But yeah, I don't like Mountain View, but shout out Dylan Martin.
All right. So we're now going to get into a conversation as it relates to sections because we're about to see especially 113. You can see it at 113 with Rick Walker and Hunter McCullough, both the same section. I think it's section A.
I do believe
where it was super tough. The brackets were super tough. And I believe it was McCullough beating Walker last year in the finals.
Yes, I do believe that was how. Or did Hunter have what's his name last year? The other good small West Forsyth kid, Danforth.
He could. Well, one of them had him at 106, and somebody had at 113,
yeah,
right?
Well, the other problem is there's 17 McCullough kids.
Right.
No, I love that family. Hunter McCullough, by the way, Team Fat and Scrap member also. By the way, put that out there. Love that kid.
Anyway, so Walker McCullough looks like a rematch in the state finals.
Looks like it.
Alex Reed of Alpharetta was the section champ. Obviously, so he's somebody to consider, somebody to pay attention to. But in terms of past accolades, Walker and McCullough haven't.
No, I would tend to agree with you that those two are. I think that there is a all likelihood we will see a sectionals rematch in the state finals with them too, and I'm expecting a great match. Both of them are really, really good wrestlers. It's just that is what I think it will be.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump to 120. 120 is interesting to me because we have Riley Dahlgren, Camden County, beat another McCullough.
Like I said, there's 20 of them
in the in that section. And you got Connor Marsh, who won the other section from Noonan down on the bottom side. But I think that there are plenty of wrestlers in that first group, in that first round, that can make some noise. Absolutely.
And my eyes, when it comes to possibly making noise, shoot to a Noah Amick out of West Forsyth. I've known that kid for a while, and he works his tail off. And then I'm also going to throw another kid out there in a little bit of a worse seeding spot. What about Cade Brown from North Paulding?
Mm-hmm.
North Paulding has become a program in the past couple of years, and I do enjoy that. I love seeing North Paulding. The sport of wrestling is good when you have these kinds of schools that come out of nowhere, and North Paulding is one of those schools. I do think Riley Dahlgren is your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very, very, very good wrestler.
Won the state title last year, right?
Obviously, rightfully so. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think he's the favorite, but I think that this bracket does have a lot of potential upsets and great matches.
All right, so let's jump to 126, and I'm not gonna talk about 126 to start. I'm gonna let you do it because I want to get your sense of what this bracket looks like.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so this bracket's super fun. Obviously, you look at the first round, you see Tyson McCullough in the first round. It makes you think about what the rest of the bracket means, and you look. Ethan Sellers sits atop it with Noah Danforth right there, possibly waiting on him in a sectionals rematch. But I do like some Lucas Morrison out of Noonan. I've watched him a couple times. I like that kid a lot. Colin Mullins, again, from North Paulding. He would have been the fourth out of the section.
No, he was sixth.
Really?
He was sixth. Now, I think he forfeited the sixth. I could be wrong, but he was sixth. So he was sixth out of the Sellers, Danforth, McCullough section.
So that makes things a little bit more interesting because now he put himself in that position. But if you're Colin Mullins, there's no disrespect to Shamad Prince. Price, excuse me, I thought that's an N there. If you look at those quarterfinals, Prince is probably the one. If you had to pick one to wrestle, Prince is probably the one you want there.
Does that help you?
Yes. Actually, you know what would help me a lot more? Oh, well, never mind. You worked it. I was going to say go to font and make it 9, but that works too. Yeah. Yes, that is very obviously a price. I am just a dummy. But like I said, I think if you had to pick one to wrestle there, Price would be son of a. Yep, that's perfect. But Price would be the one you pick. So I am going to say I do think that in all likelihood we will see a Sellers-Danforth rematch. That's my prediction there. Sellers-Danforth rematch and probably Sellers going over to get his second ring.
I don't know.
I think he won one.
I don't think he won last year, though. So did he win it 2 years ago?
I think he might have.
Okay. I'm right there with you. I all of the names kind of all meld together for me. So I begin to stop remembering who lost to who and everything else. So anyway, all right. So now let's jump to 132, and I want to ask a question at 132.
Please.
All right. So I am a huge Logan Paradise fan.
I am too.
He is the new guard to Jacob Silka's the old guard. Silka is what, 2-time state champ.
No, he might be a 4-timer. I don't know if he lost one. I was having this.
I don't think he won it as a freshman. He won it.
No, I thought he did.
I don't think he did. I think he won it as a sophomore at 106.
I'm doing research while we talk. I'm doing research.
Okay, but my question to you is, Grappler has Paradise ranked first and Silka ranked second. Who do you think is the favorite?
Hold on. One. Oh, no, I'm a dummy. Okay, he DMP'd his freshman year. Okay, I'm dumb. Wait, no, that's 2019. Wait, what? He won. Oh, so he went DMP win-win. I swear to God he won as a freshman. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
The reason you're confused is because whoever enters their grades, like what grade they're in, when he won it, it said he was a freshman, but he was actually a sophomore.
Thank you. Okay. Now, reloading. This weight class is a lot of fun, by the way, for a lot of reasons. Let's start, obviously, you have Paradise and Silka. And to answer your question, I don't know. Like, both of them are some hammers. Just very different wrestling styles. And are like, I don't know. So, put that aside. Bentley and Santos. Okay, great. Bitterman. Okay. Christian Gordon out of East Calwetta. Okay. Zach Recker out of Denmark, who I've seen personally. Pretty solid. Like, and even Medina out of Lowndes, he flies under the radar because he is a bit inconsistent, but that kid can wrestle too. Oh God. But it's just, this is a very, very
and a future Bruton Parker wrestler, right?
Yes, indeed. He is a future Bear, and we'll be having him next year. Love to have him. This is just a really fun weight class, and
so who's the favorite?
I'm going to say Silka, and only because he has previous state titles to his name.
Yeah.
Like, that is my only reasoning, because they are both super good, super technical, like, fun to watch wrestlers, but the only nod I can give to Silka over Paradise directly is one of them has a ring, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, well, and the only reason Paradise doesn't have a ring is because he hasn't had a shot to get one yet.
And now he has one, and it's against, like you said, the old guard. Like, this is the epitome of, okay, young buck, you want to come and take a ring from me, you're going to have to do it directly and earn your spot. Like, that's what this is.
Well, and you're going to have to stop a potential 3-timer. I mean,
yes.
So, that's a whole other story. All right, so let's jump to 138. And 138 to me is a lot of fun. And the reason it's a lot of fun is because the separation between the top kids, I think Taylor beat Denson by 2-0. Denson beat Bryant 4-3. So we don't have a lot of separation. And you've got Nekula. Is that how you say his name?
Mm-hmm. Now.
He was 6th.
Mm-hmm. But he was 6th with a caveat.
Right.
He lost to Nathan Taylor. And from my call quit sources, he was losing that match and put Taylor on his head and pinned him. Nekula then forfeited out. He didn't lose the 6th. He X'd it out. So what happens to me here, and this is where I think we really get some fun. First off, before we can get to the top side, that bottom side, you have Denson, you have Porter Bryant at Camden, you have Thomas Rhodes, a sectional winner out of Roswell. All should be some good fun. I think in reality, you'll have Brian get to the quarters with Denson. Him and Denson will wrestle, and the winner will get Rhodes. In my opinion, I think Denson might be the best on that side. Call me a little crazy maybe, but I think he is. I think he'll handle business with Rhodes. I have a suspicion, a sneaking suspicion, that Emil Nuclear, knowing him, is going to want to get through that first match, is going to want to set a statement against Childress, and is going to be praying that Nathan Taylor gets through the other quarter, and is going to want to come for blood. because I know Necula and I know his family. I think he's coming for blood. So I kind of want to see Necula and Taylor get to the topside semifinal because I want to see that match.
So
going to be 1,000% honest.
So what? So replay for me what happened. So
Taylor was losing. They got into a weird scramble, and it was like a throw on a come up. Like Necula like ended up in on a kind of shot, and Taylor just yoked him up and went lefty lat drop and stuck him.
Oh wow.
Like it was off a scramble. It wasn't like he said, "Come here, little boy," and gave him a Polish throw. No, it was just off a weird scramble and kind of like just chopped him.
Yeah, because Emil, I mean, in terms of
throws, he's a Pan Am Greco champion.
Yeah, he's a Greco wrestler. So it's not as if he's gonna get thrown.
Now, by the way, if you are in it Walton and you know that information is wrong, please tell me. That is just what I'm getting from my sources. Make that clear. I didn't see this with my own eyes. I heard. So like I think Necula's gonna be coming for blood. So I kind of want to see him get back there because I love the whole I need my run back. Like I love that. So I kind of want to see that happen.
All right. So let's run to 145, which for me, again, I look at a bunch of Lobdell from Lambert. I see Connor Powell.
I was gonna say
the two Abreu from Mountain View, who you don't much care for Mountain View, but
okay. So this is where again,
but Weaver Wheeler are the two names that pop off the page.
Indeed, they do, and they do for a lot of reasons to me. But first of all, I will say Daviel Abreu, a nice young man. I have no direct beef with him. I hate him by association. Anyways, by association, I hate him. If my own mother was over at Mountain View, I'd hate her by association. That's just the way it works. Don't worry, I know the feeling's mutual on that side of the road too. Don't worry, I know.
Good. I hope they dislike as much. Go ahead.
Oh no, I hope they do, because they never beat me. Anyways, yeah, I went there. Yeah, okay. Colin Weaver and Bentley Wheeler is a lot of fun to me, especially as Bentley has obviously dropped a lot of weight. Because me and him wrestled at 60, so down at 45. Yeah, no, we did. Like I know this. I wrestled him. It was a lot of fun.
60? He was 60. Okay. He won.
Yeah,
he won last year at 52.
Yes, he did. Indeed, he did. Because I will give you a quick story about Bentley Wheeler to try to keep our time down. When me and him wrestled at State, it was my last match of my high school career, and I knew that. So I went up to him in the back after he banana splitted and pinned Devon Mays from Grayson. He pinned him in the sems. I went up to him and I said, "Hey, you have responsibility now," because I knew him a little bit. I said, "Hey, I want you coming at me full tilt. It's my last high school match. I've had people run for me in matches my entire season. Come at me. Like don't try to hide and tuck tail from me. Give me a run." And he said, "Okay." He came out and punched the hell out of me in the first 20 seconds. Gave me a hard-ass club. I was like, "Oh, okay. Fair enough." And then after the match, I had a moment with him in the back, and it was I give him a lot of respect. And I like that kid a lot. But Colin Weaver is a dog. And Connor Powell even is a pretty solid wrestler in his own right. And that's a potential quarterfinal. So
right.
I will say Weaver's the favorite only because he does have a win over Wheeler. He does. Yeah.
Well, and last weekend. I mean, it wasn't like this was in November.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm agreeing.
Yeah. All right. And also we talked about Wheeler being a returning state champ. Weaver's also a returning state champ.
Is he?
Yes.
At 45?
No, at 126, I believe.
Oh God. Okay, he got big.
He got big. Yes.
Fair enough to him.
All right. So now we get a chance to talk about the new guard and probably the single best freshman in the Southeast. I don't know, got to be amongst maybe the country. I don't know. Dominic Bambinelli.
Elijah Griffin. Oh, Death Cannon. Okay. Oh, that kid always confused me because I think of my Elijah Griffin went to Collinsville. Anyways, I was so confused for a minute. But yes, Dominic Bambinelli is a hammer. And I knew he was going to be that when I ran my first camp at Roundtree. and he came as a 7th grader and was giving me goes. I was like, okay, who in the hell is this kid? And I learned he was little Bambinelli. I can't remember the older brother's name.
Joey
Bambinelli's younger brother, and that kid Dominic is special. He's special, and I mean that in he is legit. So, but beside him, you look at a John Peralta, you look at a Joseph Lago, a sectional champion, Elijah Griffin from Camden. There is some other names of note in this bracket for sure, but Bambinelli is the heavy favorite to me.
Yeah. And just to put context to Dominic, I mean, he's gone with Caleb Henson in some really good matches. I remember being at the Grapple Fall Classic when he Jonesy tilted Michael Kellick in the first 20 seconds. Yeah. And then Killick got mad and kind of came back and put it on him a little bit. But you're absolutely right.
It was like 13-7 was the final score of that match? 13-7, 13-8?
It was something like that. It was I know Killick, I know he ran off like 6 or 7 or 8 points pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right after
he was a little.
He seemed like he got a little upset.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. All right. So now let's flip to 160 because I think this might be, and I don't want to jump to conclusions and say who's going to be in the finals, but Paradise versus, is it Cartier? Cartier,
I believe. Yeah.
Right. They look like the finalists. And that looks like a fantastic final.
I would say that, but so for some reason, my Colquitt people are telling me about the semifinal with Florian Madrusky. Mm-hmm. And does Florian have a win over Paradise?
I don't know.
Like, for some reason, that's what I'm being told.
Okay.
That might have been last year, but he has a win over him in the past.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the truth is it Mandrescu? Okay. Super tough. State placer. No doubt. And so Micah Green's really tough.
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying Paradise versus Cartier are going to be the finals. Certainly they have to get to that point. But you have some good tough matchups. Certainly in the semifinals.
Absolutely.
Anybody sitting in that first column that you might want to watch?
Not specifically. I mean, obviously, you see a Camden guy, so obviously there's going to be I said it in one of the previous classifications. It might have been 3A. About like when you see a kid with a certain singlet on, the energy that they come with to the mat is different. And Camden is for sure one of those schools. And this is what Camden's so good at. That kid's going to place. I don't know him, never seen him, but he will place. That's the way this works. And it pisses me off, but he will place.
Okay. All right.
That's how it works.
Well, let's keep with the Camden momentum. And let's talk a little bit about...
You mean from 106 on?
No, I'm talking about, you just mentioned them, too, now with Kamari Johnson.
Who is a hammer.
Who is a hammer.
Very much of the Michael Gibson and Miles Stark prototype.
Will he... he beat a very good Kieran Sherwood, and I believe he beat Joey Bambinelli in the quarters last week as well.
That one shocked me.
So this is an interesting weight class. For me, Johnson is the favorite. But what do you think of the rest of it?
I agree. You look at a Virgil Heath maybe out of Brookwood, that 26-11 record, and Landon Jones in the first round. That I think should be a fun match. I've seen both them wrestle. Joey Bambinelli, I think damn well could get through to the sems. He'd have to go through Kieran Sherwood, who they would have wrestled in the region tournament. I'm unsure of the result there. It's going to be a very interesting. That bottom side is very interesting to me, but I do think Kamari Johnson is the heavy favorite.
Yeah, I agree with you in that the bottom side looks to be looks to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Landon Jones from Harrison is definitely somebody I think you might want to keep an eye on. All right. So without saying anything nasty about Mountain View, let's talk about 182 and Armand Jones.
He's there.
Yeah, he's 19-0. He's got to be the favorite. Would you agree he's the favorite? He beat Tristan Graham, or is it Elliott Meyer?
See, here's the problem. And this is where, see, you want to know what I like? I at least admit when I'm biased.
Okay.
I admit I am. I don't like Mountain View. I admit it. And Armand Jones is a wrestler Mountain View. And I may have my feelings about Armand from a previous match of his. But nevertheless, I mean, he's 19-0. I don't know if he's done anything to deserve being called a favorite other than beating Tristan Graham. But Graham is also, with all due respect to him, good, but a little inconsistent. So I think it's a little bit of a wide open wait. Hey, Dominic Martinez can go, by the way. Hey, Sharpwig can go, by the way. And even down below, a Matthew Viega from North Paulding and Elliott Meyer can all go. This is a very fun weight class. This is a dartboard weight class and a popcorn approved weight class.
Yeah. So
get the popcorn buckets.
So I agree with you in that I think Armand Jones is the favorite, and you didn't necessarily say that. I think you did, but it might have been like pulling teeth. But
yes.
But I will say, Dominic Martinez is tough from Archer, and Elliott Meyer won that section. So that's something to keep in mind. And you just mentioned a few other names I think are definitely names that if they're not in the running for the title, they certainly will be fighting on the backside to make the place.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So let's go to 195. And I think the one thing that stood out to me as I was looking up at 195 was the number of 1-point matches.
Yeah.
Okay. Cole Williams, I think, beat Lyerly by a point, maybe 3-2.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think Lyerly beat Akovic by a point, 2-1. Yeah. Bryce Gibbs is in there with, not winning by many points. Jaden Maddox, who from Etowah, won by a few points over Tracy Wright from Archer. So it doesn't look like we have a lot of separation in this group.
No, we don't. And it's a really tight group. And I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in there. Okay. And I'm going to do it. And I promise you, this is not out of Collins Hill bias, per se. No. Richard Ranson is the weirdest built human on the planet.
Okay.
He's like 6'4", 6'5", damn near, and has the longest arms I've ever seen, and has had the ability to banana split everybody that he wanted. He's not the best and most technical wrestler. I'll be the first person to say that. But he's a 2-time qualifier and a 1-time placer last year, and he just came off football. So I wonder if now having matches under his feet, I think that 5-3 is very deceptive. Now, I don't know if he beats a Cole Williams or a Dylan Lyerly. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I am saying he could get through that bracket too. So that is the for sure dark horse in that way.
Okay.
That is not from Collins Hill bias. That is just being honest. That he is real.
He is a returning state placer. So, no matter where you finish as a section, if you've made the podium before, you should be on somebody's radar.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump to 220.
Yes, 220. Yes, sir. 220. Yep.
220. So before I say anything about 220, I'm going to let you tell me what you think.
So this is where I will be honest. I don't know too much about the 220s, even though I am high. There are two kids I'm very high on in this weight specifically: Zion Rutledge and Deontay Dozier. I don't know Grant Lasky too well. Obviously, he's a sectional runner-up. Kobe Ellis is a sectional champion. He is 6-0 though. So what does that mean for his rec in the sense of he's probably a football player, probably just off the football. I don't know necessarily about like a Dalton Hancock, 30-7. He comes from Tift. He's in that region with all those hammers. I don't know where he fits into the equation per se. So this is where I throw it to you. What do you think?
Okay, so I think that through the course of the season, a lot of people looked at Dozier from Camden County. They looked at Jay Hellstone, West Forsyth, Grant Lasky, Lowndes, a number of different things, right?
Yeah.
But Rutledge last weekend, I think he pinned his way to the title.
Okay.
And looked really good from what I've heard in doing so. So, he wasn't as ranked as high as some of the others, but he pretty much demonstrated in my mind that he's the favorite. And
yes, I can see that. I'm not,
The thing that I'm really interested in is what happens with, Cosby Ellis from East Coweta, it's got to be pretty good because he won the section over an Ashton Heflin, a Trey Butler from McEachern. So I think it'll be really interesting. I think Rutledge is probably the favorite, but I'm really interested to see how it plays out. He might have just, gotten on a roll and just, and
his record looks solid.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely solid.
Like this isn't as if you got a guy that's at the top of a bracket with a 29-13 record.
No, right. All right, so let's go to the heavyweights. Do you want me to take it, or you want to take it?
Oh, let me see the bracket layout, and then we'll go from there. Oh, I could talk about this. First off, shout out to Jalen George getting into the bracket. Collins Hill. Oh, and shout out to David Reyes in the bracket earlier. But this is I think Dossett is the favorite. I believe it's Dossett. I could be wrong. I think he is the favorite. Obviously, I've seen Eli Edwards wrestle. Jalen George got third in his section.
Yeah, behind
God
Edwards
bless him.
and
Good stuff, JG. Good stuff. You know what? Big man. There you go. Shout out JG. I hope he gets I'd like to see JG on the podium. But Luke Sicchetti at a Forsyth Central, 27-5. He's looked good all year.
He has.
The one that intrigues me is Yancey and Miller, being where they are in the bracket, from Camden and North Paulding. Those are going to be very interesting to see how they play out. And I don't know a thing about Damian Clark from South Gwinnett. I don't know a thing about the Comet. So take it for what you will. He obviously beat Rio. I'm going to give it a punt. Ryabuka.
Hey, I think that was right.
I hope. I try. And Sicchetti was placed higher than him at least.
No, McKnight.
Son of a freaking. You know what I mean? Placed higher than McKnight. So either way, it should be some fun heavyweight. Heavyweight's always fun because I said it with 6A, and I'm going to say it here again. Heavyweight are a bit like turtles that if they just so happen to roll to their back, for the most part, we're going home. So
yeah, so
always some fun.
So a little context, right? Dossett lost to Fairchild last year in the state finals,
which is that's not something.
Fairchild is, just unbelievable.
A freak of nature who knows how to wrestle.
Correct.
That's why you gave Tamari fits when they had to wrestle. That's why.
So, but Dossett found a way to win matches like 4-1, 3-0, 2-1. Those I don't know if he had a 2-1 match last weekend or not. But my point is that he stays in good position. He knows how to get up off bottom, and
which is important to
how to get away from a big, heavier guy, and he doesn't put himself in bad positions. So, in a lot of respects, getting that angle, being able to do something to be able to get that takedown can be the difference between a win and a loss and a state title and not a state title. Now we're not talking, we're not talking like a Fairchild who would just rip you apart and like flip you over
limb from limb.
But a lot of heavyweights, they figure out how to make their weight and everything else work for them to be able to get the wins.
It is very much a heavyweight is a game of inches in a way more than it is with the little guys, because at the end of the day, they win so many matches 2-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
One false step, even if you don't get pinned, but you give up a takedown, that's huge.
It's hard to get back. It's not like the little gnats that are running around, 100 miles an hour. So yeah, no, I agree with you completely. All right. So we're going to end this the same way we ended 6A, and you're not going to take Camden. So I've given you an opportunity to be wrong again and tell me who is going to win the team race.
God, that is a great question. North Forsyth. Actually, no. Individual. Give me no. Yeah. What? Screw it. Collinsville. No. Okay. No. In all honesty, give me Western North Forsyth. I like them both. They're both in good position in a couple weight classes to make some noise. Camden didn't have as many one seeds as I expected, actually, but it's Camden County. They're gonna they're gonna play. They're gonna play 16 guys
out of 14 weight classes.
Yes, that's what Camden does.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna
That's what they do.
We're gonna wrap up 7A, and thank you everybody for joining us for the 7A.